Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Stretching class today. So all you need is your mat and yourself. You don't need any extra resistance bands or anything like that today. We're gonna start seated on our mat. You can use a towel, or if you have a comfortable enough ground, go ahead and use that. Get going in a few seconds here, starting in a very comfortable seated position. So any one that you want. You can be crisscross applesauce. You can be feet flat on the ground. If you don't want to be sitting on the ground, you want to be maybe in a chair as well. Totally fine, whatever is most comfortable for you. Starting here in just a second. We're going to start with just focusing our breath. It's the way I like to start most of my stretching classes. It's a good place to center ourselves here. Focusing that breath down our center into our diaphragm. Feel it expand with air and then contract as you exhale. Continue to be breathing here. Taking nice deep inhales in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. And let's start to loosen up the head, letting it fall side to side. Feeling a nice long stretch on either side of your neck. If you want, you can also help your stretch a little bit by pulling, but don't think about pulling down, think of going up and over. Same thing on the other side, up and over. And now let's let our head fall forward, doing that nice half semicircle here. If you want, also here, you can clasp those fingertips and press up and over. But make sure you're being nice and mindful of your neck, not pushing it too hard at all. And bring it up, let's do a full circle. As you go to the back, keep that nice long, at least 2 finger space behind the neck there. And go the other way. Nice big circle, generous. Letting that neck really loosen up. It's Wednesday, so we tend to have our midweek tension in our upper body. That's a very common place, that's where I keep mine at least. Bring the head back up, just give it a little bob, little shake. And bring those shoulders up to the ears. Again, you're still seated in whatever position is comfortable for you. Squeeze them up, 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 and then let them just drop, relax. Feeling that nice lengthening here on the top of the neck. And again, bring it up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. And as you bring those shoulders up to your ears, inhale. And then exhale on that drop. Do a few more of these. Let's do one more. And give yourself a little shoulder roll here, both ways. Shake it out. Beautiful. Take those hands up to the shoulders and give a nice big roll here. Using those hands, just helping us increase our range of motion, really thinking about rotating those shoulders up and back, sending them down. And rotate them forward, same way, bringing those hands up and over. And let them just shake out again. Now, wherever you might be, if you are in a chair, you can modify it. We're going to stretch both those feet out in front of us. It's going to work a little bit better if you are sitting on the ground, but of course, stay in the chair if you need. Just let yourself wiggle here. Feel like those legs are coming a tiny bit out of their hip sockets. You're pushing your soles of your feet forward a little bit. Just a little bit. Start to just feel that release in the hip socket. This is a very small movement. Isolating these muscles. A few more seconds here. Place those hands on your quads and give those legs a shake. I know it might feel weird, but I want you to loosen up those muscles. Shake them, shake them, shake them. Beautiful. You're going to flex those toes straight up. Make sure your posture is nice and long. Hands are right above the knees, flexing those feet. If you are hyperextended, you can try to press those heels up off the ground by really lengthening along the sides of your knees. If you're not hyperextended, don't worry. You can still do this stretch, thinking about lifting those heels up off the ground. You're flexing and then releasing. Those toes are constantly flexed though, up towards the sky. Posture is nice and long throughout this whole thing. Alrighty, flexing as hard as you can. I want you to inhale and exhale, take a little tiny walk down those legs. Make sure you're never pressing on your knees, but your hands can be lightly placed there. Feet are still flexed. If you're in a chair, you're just hinging over at the hips. Try to sit at the very edge of your chair also if you can. And inhale. Exhale, try to walk those hands a little bit farther. Still flexing actively behind those knees. And inhale again. Exhale, walk it over. And one more inhale here. Exhale, walk. Try to relax that neck now. Down, down, down. And roll it up, tucking that chin, feeling that stretch behind the neck. Beautiful. Grab those quads again and give yourself a little tiny shake out. Muscles should start to be loosening up. We're going to do that one more time, our inhaling and our exhaling while walking to really stretch out those hamstrings. Alrighty, here we go. Inhale, flex. And exhale, walk those hands a tiny bit over. And inhale, flex. Exhale, walk it over. Inhale. And exhale, walk a little bit farther. Still keeping that head and neck in line. On this next one, we are going to relax the neck, to try to really hang, stretch out those hamstrings. Here we go, inhale, and exhale, walk. Reaching a little bit farther for those toes if you can, relaxing that neck. And roll it up, tucking that chin, letting it be the last thing to come up. Beautiful, let's cross one leg over here. Try to pull that foot in pretty close to your other hip. Feeling a little stretch, opening up the other side. Keeping that back nice and long. Take a few breaths here. Reach that opposite arm up through the shoulder, and we're going to connect the elbow to the knee and try to twist around here, stretching out the lower back. And unwind. Already from here, if this is too much on a knee joint, just keep it like this. But if you can, I want you to bring that bottom foot in so that we're almost in a pretzel-like position. That top foot, if you can, pull it a little bit closer and try to let that knee drop. So ideally, you want to try to connect your two knees, trying to keep both sits bones on the ground. This is a pretty advanced stretch, so if you're only doing half of it, that is totally fine. If you are here and you feel like you can do a little bit more, I want you to try to fold yourself over. You're really going to feel an opening in those hips. And breathe into it, relax as much as you can in a stretch like this. And slowly let yourself roll up, tucking the chin again. And carefully untwist yourself. Send both those legs out. And let's loosen it up. Shake, shake, shake. Alrighty, cross that other foot over. Find that posture. You can pull gently on that bent leg, feeling the chest opening, shoulders pressing down. Take a few deep breaths. And reach that arm up. Connect elbow to knee. Take a little twist. Opening up your spine, your lower back. And unwinding here. Same thing, if you can, pull that top foot in and pull the bottom foot in. Situate yourself here, dropping that front knee as much as possible, inhaling and exhaling, trying to get a nice little fold here. And slowly rolling it up. Unwind carefully again. And last thing, grab those legs, give yourself a little shake out. We are gonna bring it up to our feet now. So if you are seated in a chair, you can place that chair off to the side. Bring it up onto your feet and give yourself a little shake out up here. Loosen up those muscles, loosening up those shoulders, loosening up the legs. Beautiful, starting in a nice wide second position here. Toes are a tiny bit turned out. We're gonna take a little tiny bend, almost like you're doing a sumo squat position. Then you're gonna hinge over at the hips, chest going down, reaching one hand and then the other. Relax that neck. So we're not in a fully folded over position yet. We're stretching out those hips while starting to get a forward fold position here. Now from here, I want you to just straighten those knees a little bit. Don't go all the way, just straighten them a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, keeping those hands on the ground, head relaxed. Alrighty, now let's bend the knees again. And now stretch a little bit higher here. Knees are almost straight, but not quite. And take it back to a bend. This time straightening all the way, trying to keep those hands on the ground. If you need, you can be hanging, as long as you are relaxing that neck and reaching nice and long towards the ground. If you want, you can give a little shift in your hips here. I want you to toe heel those feet in so that they are actually touching. Your feet are touching. And I want you to be over here folded if you can. Head is still nice and relaxed. Now I want you to bend one knee and stretch into the other hip, really feeling that opening along your IT band and your hamstring here. Then you switch. You can do a little tiny pulse if you'd like. Breathing into it. Switching through. Alrighty, last one. Now we're going to take the right foot back behind us. We're going into a left lunge. So if you want, you can be all the way down. I'm going to move forward so you can see me. Your hands can be all the way down on the ground, but if you need, you can be up a little bit higher. Totally up to you. Make sure that front knee is over the ankle and our back knee is as straight as it can possibly be. We're lengthening through that kneecap. You're going to drop that knee wherever you are. Try to tuck the back foot and bring those hands up onto the top knee. And now you're going to press into that hip, really trying to get an extra stretch here. And make sure you breathe, of course. Send both those hands back down. Now we're going to bend that back knee, stretch the front, flex the foot, and if you can, sit all the way back down on that back foot. If you need to be up, totally fine. However you feel a stretch. And now also, if you can, breathe into that hamstring and rest here for a moment. and using your hands to bring yourself back up to a regular lunge. Both hands are on either side of the foot. I want you to send that left foot to meet the right foot and hold a little tiny plank here. Pulling that navel into your spine nice and tight. Lower yourself down, squeezing your arms into your sides. Tuck those toes. Press it up to a full cobra or half cobra. And make sure you breathe here. Tuck those toes and you're going to send your hips up to a downward dog position. You can rearrange your feet here if you need and try to press those heels down. You can even do a little bend to stretch. You can walk out those feet, rolling through the metatarsals. Take a second here. I want you to drop those knees, tuck your toes, press your hips back to a child's pose. Opening the knees up if you'd like. And bringing it back to a full or half cobra. Tuck those toes, press the hips up. Take a second in your downward dog. And now I want you to bring that right foot in between the feet, whichever lunge you haven't done yet, and get comfortable here. Situate yourself again. You can be up a little bit higher, or you can be down in the full lunge. Make sure you are breathing. Now we're going to drop that back knee, tuck the back toes, and press into that hip, feeling a beautiful opening feeling. And bringing it back to a lunge. Tucking the toes, hands on either side of your foot, send that foot out to a plank, hold it for a hot second, and then lower yourself down, squeezing and pressing up. You can let your head roll here. Do whatever you need. And this time, press it right back to a child's pose and open those knees up so that they are nice and wide on either side of the mat. Reaching those fingertips nice and long. Feeling those shoulders stretching. Take that right arm, thread it through your left shoulder. Take a nice little stretch here. And switching, throwing that left hand through the right. And bringing it back, take it to all fours. Cat-cow here at your own pace. We are arching and then contracting, stretching out that lower spine. We have just a few more minutes here together. And bringing it back to neutral. Try to connect that right shoulder to the right hip, feeling a contraction in your oblique. And then go to the left, same thing. A few more here at your own pace. And bring it back to neutral. Tuck those toes, rolling onto your feet, trying to press those heels down into the ground. Some of us might be able to get all the way down, some of us might be up a little bit higher. Whenever you feel that stretch on your shins and behind, that means that you're doing something right. And we're gonna roll it up. Take this super slow. I want you to really be generous with this stretch to your hamstrings. Really try to feel yourself rolling through each vertebrae. Envision that process. And give yourself a little shake out here. Open those arms up super wide, pulling one arm across. Shoulder is pressing down. And reach that arm up. In between the shoulder blades, other hand is pulling, opening up the under part of your arm. And switch, other arm, pulling across, shoulder. And reaching up, in between the shoulder blades. And release both of those fingers together. Press forward and open that chest up. Chin goes to the ceiling. And now lacing those fingers behind us, stretch the arms up. Some of us might only go to here, that's okay. Some of us might have more flexible shoulders. Mine are pretty average, I think. Feeling that stretch, opening up the shoulder blades. And lace those fingers again. And this time take a little arch here. Almost like you're trying to make a hunchback. Pressing those hands forward. And let those hands hang down to the side. Give yourself one last second here to shake everything out, to breathe. Take some nice full deep breaths. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it loosened you up, got you ready for your Wednesday. Have a good one. See you guys later.